What up? What up? What up? Welcome to another exciting episode of The Real Deal. Let's get it. What up again? Welcome to another episode of The Real Deal. This is episode 125. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harden. Glad to be back on a Saturday. It's been a couple of weeks. I was out last weekend at the Fantasy Football Expo in Canton, Ohio, at the Hall of Fame. That was so much fun. I got to give a big shout out to Bob Lung of the Fantasy Football Expo for the invite. And it was so much fun. Like it's an expo for not just for fantasy football, for a bunch of podcasters, YouTubers, content creators. We were all together, the parties, the drafts, the expo itself, and just connecting and getting new connections and meeting people that I've had on the show and different things like that. So that was a lot of fun. If you get an opportunity to go, like I said, it's not just for fantasy football, it's for a lot of different things. I say do it. Even if it just go for the expo and parties, whatever you want to do. It was a lot of fun. But I'm glad to be back. It is August 19th. Again, The Real Deal, Courtney Harden. You can follow the show on all social media platforms, all podcast platforms. You can follow me at Get the Real Deal at Courtney 110979 on Twitter, X Twitter, Exeter, whatever you want to call it. It's something. It's still Twitter to me. So you can follow me there. You can follow me on Facebook, also on Instagram, CJ Harden _79 as well. And you can follow the show, bs3tv.com, bs3network.com, Spotify, Google Play, Apple, all the things. We're on Roku. Download the Roku channel, BS3 TV app. Follow all the shows there as well. If you have a Roku device or a Roku channel, download the BS3 TV app. All right, that's enough of the intros, enough of those things. So much there. I always say Google The Real Deal with Courtney Harden. You can find everything there on all, like I said, whatever, Apple, Google Play, Spotify, all those things. So, well, I had to. It's NFL season. NFL preseason is going on right now. I had to bring in one of my favorite people in the industry. I mean, good friend of the show, podcast family. We do. We have the fantasy football, the Real Deal fantasy football. We've been on that for a couple of years together. We got our draft coming up next week. This woman, she's my kryptonite when it comes to fantasy football. She beats me every single year. She beat me in the playoffs. She beat me in the regular season. So, but we're still good friends. And she's a Giants fan. As you guys know, I'm an Eagles fan as well. So she's the co-host of the new show, The Blonde Blitz, with Debbie Wickes, which is going to premiere on August 30th. So definitely check that out. It's going to be on the TSS Fantasy Network as well. She's a reporter for the New York Giants, JSN Sporting News. She's an all-around good, great woman. She does a little bit of, like I said, does a little bit of everything. She's reporting, she's podcast, she does everything. So without further ado, I got to bring in my friend, Nikki Gist. What up?
What's up? Good morning.
Good morning. Had to give you your proper intro. So
quite an intro.
Yeah, you know how we do. So, like you said, it's football season. So this is what we do. We Eagles versus Giants, NFC East matchup battle. But on top of that, like, we always have great discussion, great conversation. So welcome back to the show for the 20th time.
Yes, thank you.
So like I said, it's episode 125, Blonde Blitzing with Nikki. So I had to do this. So it's only right. So how are you on this Saturday morning?
I am good. I'm good. Yeah, Deb and I are just been working all summer to bring you guys a really cool show for football season. So we're super excited. We have our dress rehearsal, our run through this week on Wednesday, and then that's it. It's time to premiere. So, when you change platforms and you go through a whole new show, and there's a lot of behind the scenes work, and people were like, "Are you done podcasting?" And it's like, no, it takes a lot to get some of these things in motion. And she's covering the Chargers, I'm covering the Giants, so we're just assigned to camp certain days. So it's been a lot, but I think we are almost there. And I'm telling you, like, there's no other show like this. There's really not going to be any other show like this. So I'm super excited to co-host with Deb. I mean, it was just great timing. She was looking for a female co-host. I've always wanted to do a female-led show. We both went to the TSS platform, and we both ended up texting at the same time of like, "Hey, are you interested in this? Is Nikki available? Hey, Deb's available. Let's do the Blonde Blitz." And so, sometimes timing just works out, right? Right place, time. So we're excited. So we've been doing that all summer, obviously covering the Giants, and then my real job on top of it. So.
Yeah, the real job, yes, women in construction and all those things, and you do a lot. Like I said, you've been doing a lot. If you follow Nikki on Instagram and Twitter, she is super busy. But I'm glad that you are always able to find time to do the show with me. Exciting, and like you said, you're one of my favorite people to have on the show. And we do a couple of these a year, quite a few of these a year. So I've been on your show a couple of times too, so it's always fun. So we already got some comments in the chat in our hour. Nathan Ramasandra, thanks for tuning in. He says happy Saturday. Keep up the great work. He said Nikki is the best.
Obviously, thank you.
Yes. We also got the Huddle with Walter Strong. Thanks for tuning in. Walter Strong, he has his show, the Huddle with Walter Strong. He does Facebook, YouTube. He said the man is back. Yes, I'm back. Yes, I am back from Canton. And it's always funny. We talk about the Canton and all that. It's not a huge city. And everything. So it's not a lot. It's because it's like you have the Fantasy Football Expo and the Hall of Fame game. That's about it. And the Hall of Fame's there. So, like I said, even if you have something to, if you wanted to go to the Fantasy Football Expo, you can go to the Hall of Fame Village, which is to me is like a college campus. I walked around that whole thing, and that was a lot of fun. Even just for that was cool. So seeing the stadium and on the field and getting to the Hall of Fame store, going through, it was that was one of the best experiences. So if you have a chance to do that, definitely tour the Hall of Fame campus as well. So, but we have another comment. Daniel Bahan said, "What up, guys?" So yes, Giants fan.
Danny's in the chat.
Yeah, Danny's in the chat. Yeah, he was on YouTube. That's for the YouTube link. So thanks for tuning in and everything too. He said, "Nikki, be nice."
Listen, don't you have like kids to just feed or something? Or
I appreciate we appreciate the support always. Yeah. So, but let's talk about the show. I had Deb Wickes on a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about the Blonde Blitz premiering next week. I'm excited for this because, like I said, the Blonde Blitz is like two women blondes that just have a similar thing of football, that love football and everything too. Jersey in the building. And she's from Jersey too. So talk about how that came about. You talked a little bit about how that came about. You said you've been working at this and you've always wanted a female-led show, and now that we have it, it says it's gonna be different. But talk a little bit about the behind the scenes a little bit more and how that all got together. How you guys all got together.
Yeah, I think it was just kind of time for me to move on to other things and other platforms, right? So obviously I still give everybody Giants coverage. That's the one of the main parts of the brand. But from when I first started this, I had always talked about around the league, right? And so I just thought that type of show would be good on a different platform. And Deb was available, and she was really looking for a female co-host. She had reached out and asked if I was available, and I just happened to be looking kind of at the same time, and it's like a perfect storm. It just came together. She is like, I don't know, my sister on the West Coast. We love pink. We love flamingos. We love Britney. Like, this show is going to be something else. And we're really just embracing the whole, like, blondes no ball, right? Because that's always the first thing you get. You don't know anything. Yeah. You're blonde. You're a woman. You guys are stupid. And to work with a two-time Emmy winner for
Yeah.
production,
Yes.
sports production is major. And I am so excited to learn from her and learn from each other. But it's going to be a different show. It's going to be fun. We have some great segments for you guys. We plan on inviting all of our friends on. You guys will compete against us weekly, against our picks, and we'll see who wins. So I've already got a bunch of people reaching out. Oh, I want to come on with you guys. I want to pick against you guys. So we're going to have a lot of fun. It'll be Wednesdays at 8:00. I've been on Wednesdays at 8:00 for almost 4 years now. So we're just keeping that time slot. And it will be on the Fantasy Sports Corporation YouTube platform and Roku. So you guys can catch us there too. Yes.
Yes. Welcome to the Roku family.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. It's interesting because, like I said, the streaming part of it, Roku and Netflix, and I mean, that's all we have to watch these days anyway. There's with the writer's strike and all that. But yeah, Roku, being on the Roku channel, Roku family, that's a lot of fun. That's like next level stuff now. So yeah, welcome to the Roku family.
Yes, thank you.
I'm interested in the show. I want to be on. I want to jump on.
Don't gang up on me with the Eagles nonsense. Will not tolerate it.
Yeah, because Deb is my fellow Eagle fan. And we were like I said, we were talking 2 weeks ago. She said she's very excited. She's like, hey, it's like Barbie's doing the show. It's fitting with Barbie being the #1 movie this year so far. $1 billion shout out. I mean, that's huge. And then you're like you said, pink, blonde. He's like, hey, where the Barbie dressed it like, okay, the little Kim.
Yes.
So, but
lots of pink on the show, everybody.
Yes, rocking the pink. So, but I think it's a very, very, two powerhouses joining forces and just doing your thing. So, congratulations on that. And you're right. It is hard when you're looking for something different.
Yeah.
Another different platform. So you just move on from different platforms. I've done that in 2019. It was just taking a break and then jumping on the BS3 network. Been on there ever since. So I totally get it. Like you said, you're just looking for just different ways and different people to work with. So I think it's cool that I think it's really cool that you're working with Deb, and so I'm looking forward to the show, being on it, and definitely will be promoting it and all that for you guys too.
Yeah, I mean, we're just so excited. As soon as we announced it, it's sometimes you get a little nervous. You're switching platforms. Your brand has been one thing for such a long time, and people know you as one thing, and but it just, when we announced it, the immediate feedback was like, oh my God, you guys are getting together. Like, wow, wait a minute. Like, what's going on here? It was just such a good fit. So, we're super excited, and bear with us the first couple weeks, right? We get a preseason too. So
yes, you guys, you get a preseason, you get all that. So I mean, and like you said, you've had a little bit of time to kind of work out everything. You said you're going to be doing the rehearsal, and Deb's you said 2-time Emmy winner, producer. So I know it's going to be top notch production, and you're on TSS Fantasy, which we've been a part of on their shows and different things too. So I think I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to listen and watch and see where it takes you. So all right, let's get into a little NFC East. We have to, gotta preview these teams.
We have
to. Eagles, Giants, Cowboys, and the Commanders, Washington football team.
I don't know. They're going back to the Redskins, maybe. I don't know.
Who knows where they're going? They talk about the Washington Hogs. They're talking again. Now they got new ownership, which I'm glad they did. That's something that they needed to do. Let's break down a little bit, just some questions, what we have. Let's go with got to start with the NFC East champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, my Philadelphia Eagles. Got to start there. Got to start there.
Yeah, let's start there. Yeah, let's get it out of the way.
There. Going into the defending champions, the defending NFC champions, and they will finish the deal this year, just to let you know. But
okay,
I'm going there. But before we start, shout out to Mr. Ben Sutter himself, BS3. Thanks for tuning in. Always big supporter as well. But let's start with the Eagles. What questions do you have for the Eagles heading into this season?
My question is how? Like, hats off to your capologist or whatever. Like, how you guys lose all these pieces and yet still seem like you're not gonna miss a beat. So, I mean, I really, and we've talked about this, and I think one of the reasons we enjoy doing each other's shows is because we are realistic fans. Like, I am
Yeah.
a Giants fan. I do cover the team, but I obviously know the Eagles are very talented. Much as, believe me, everyone, that pains my soul to say. I hate saying it.
Yes.
Uh, and I've said to you, like, the Eagles had their down year, but I really got to give hats off and credit to them for turning it around, completely turning the organization around. Always so talented. And you look at the rest of the division, you look at it from, a Giants fan, it's like, you got to build this team. You got to get through Philly. We just cannot get through Philly. So, I guess my question to you really is, yes, you guys did lose a lot of big pieces.
Yeah.
It seems like you're going to do just fine, but do you have any concerns about some of the pieces that you lost?
Yes, I do. There are concerns. I'm very concerned on the defensive side of the
Okay.
ball because of some of the pieces that we did lose on the defensive line. Yes, we did pick up, we did pick up some draft picks, but I'm more concerned with that back end, the safety position. I mean, I think there's question marks on both the defensive line, the linebacking core, which is going to be young. Jacoby Dean's going to be holding that middle, which very talented, but
Right.
it's one of those things like still just a rookie linebacker in the middle. So that's gonna, you're the leader of the defense now. Yes, they did resign their veterans. They got Fletcher Cox back. They got
God
Slay.
damn this guy. Like,
Yeah,
enough
right.
already. I'm so sick of him. I'm
Right,
sick
right.
of him.
Yes, yes. And the secondary in the backfield is young. So
Right.
those are that the middle of the defense that's where I am concerned with the Eagles. Other than that, offensive line is still intact. How long can they go? How long can Kelsey keep going? And now did you still got AJ Brown? You still got AJ Brown. Still got Devontae Smith. I mean, Jalen Hurts just keeps ascending. So the
Yeah.
running game is even more stacked. So offensively, I think they'll be fine, but I think it's the defense. The defense might take a little bit of a step back. Can they stop the run? Can Jordan Davis? Can those guys stop the run together? I think it's going to be a little bit of a struggle in the beginning of the year for the defense, but I think as the year progresses, they'll just continue to keep getting better and better. But Jalen Carter's been dominant in practice, so could he fits right in. So there are concerns. So we'll see what happens. But we got some comments here. They says NFC Beast. Daniel says yes. We that's
We
what it's
are
called.
now. Yes.
Cowboy fan in our hour. How about them Cowboys? We're gonna
Oh
get to
my
them
God.
Cowboys. And Ben
God.
also BS3 Cowboys win the NFC East. No, they're not. No, they're not. Here we go. They win the
Here we
Super Bowl
go.
every year.
God, every year, every single year.
He says, can the Eagles duplicate last year? It's always hard for a
Hard.
team. We haven't had a team repeat as a champion since the Eagles back in, I think it was 2004, when to repeat as NFC East champion. So it's I mean, the pieces are there to do it, but it's going to be much harder. The schedule's hard too. So that's another question as well. We have to go through Georgia's defense. Yeah, the Eagles are the Georgia of the, that's
Yes,
they have the Georgia defense. Yes, they do have the Georgia defense as well. So, but yeah, so there are some question marks heading into, as you said, being realistic. There are some question marks. So, but we'll go to the Giants. Let's get into them.
Okay.
My question for you with the Giants is Saquon, with a Saquon signing just for 1 year, or framing a franchise for the 1 year, is that concerning long term? Also, Daniel Jones, I know that's always a topic, a subject for Giants fans. He got his money.
Yeah.
Now, can he really be that QB1? That would be another question for me to you. What other question marks do you have with the Giants?
Yeah. To touch on the Saquon thing here a little bit. I was just really glad that it got wrapped up before I went to camp, because I was there that first day and it was just like dreading. And I'm part of media, but I wasn't even going to go there with it, right? Because it was just like, you should have seen the press room was packed. Freaking packed. And I'm like, okay, so I'm glad that they did get that wrapped up. I told this story on Damien's show. I wrote my article for JSN, submitted it to the editors like about what I was going to look for in camp. And then the Saquon news broke because the article was, 5 things to watch for in camp, not named Saquon Barkley. So I had to quickly be like, stop, wait, redo the entire article, don't publish it. So that was fun. It's not, obviously, I don't think it's ideal. I think the running back market has taken quite a hit. I do think it will correct itself eventually, as most markets do. But, it just is unfortunate for this group of guys. Just how devalued that they've become. However, that being said, I am not a fan of throwing a ton of money at a running back. So, it's just one of those positions that's really tough. I know everybody wanted a long-term deal, but hey, we got a year. Let's just kind of see what happens here. On the Saquon front there, but I do expect him. He's looked phenomenal in camp, so I don't expect him to take a step back. Daniel Jones, I don't listen. I wasn't sold on him in the beginning either. I was like, you're drafting quarterback out of Duke. Like, what are we doing here? But he's like won me over. I think, he's did what he could last season. He had even said second year under Brian Dable, he doesn't have to learn as many new things. So things are coming easier. I can see the confidence in him in the spring when I was there in the spring covering. He just looked like a different guy, right? Sterling Shepard called it new money swag. So maybe 40 million puts you in a nice mood, right?
Yeah.
But he just looks like he's taking command of the offense. I think last night, I know they were only out there for a series, but I think you saw a little bit of that last night. The offense was, listen, it's preseason. I don't put a ton of stock into it.
I'm with you on that.
But he looked confident. He looked sharp out there. So listen, I said 40 is probably the walk away number, right? On both sides. I'm not mad at it. He got his money. I think he's going to take a couple more steps forward. He just looks like a different player to me so far this season.
Yeah, and the quarterback is as good as their talent around them. So if you put talent around a quarterback, I mean, regardless of whoever it is, I mean, unless you're Patrick Mahomes, and this is on a different level, but everybody's not Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, everybody's not Patrick Mahomes. No. So, I mean, he makes a lot of people better, but if you put a lot of talent around, an offensive line that can block, I mean, that's the main thing. And talent, I mean, Saquon Barkley is one of the most talented players in the NFL. If you put talent around him, and then they got a boatload of receivers now, whoever's the number one, we don't know. We talked about that ad nauseum last season, and that even coming in this season. Darren Waller might be their number one. I know you are definitely been on to Darren Waller.
Yeah,
you said it on my show. You said it on the show we were together. We've done so much, and he's good. You got those receipts, so just in case if people want to,
I have them ready. They are ready in my Dropbox. Everybody, I have them because I said it back in March. Actually, it was the day after it went down. We were on our rush hour, and I had said, Jones to Waller, like it's going to be the fantasy duo you want. Waller's going to be the number one target. He's going to be, I have all the clips of it. And I remember at the time, so somebody said to me a couple of weeks ago, well, that's not a hot take. I said, yeah, but you weren't here in March. When I said it in March, people were like, you know what you're talking about? He's this, he's that. Like, this is a bad take, Nikki. Well, Courtney, at least I hit one prediction every year. And I think looks like I'm right on this one so far. We'll see.
Yeah, so far. And if he stays healthy, like this guy is a top 5 tight end, top 5, top 7 tight end. We talk about fantasy football all the time, but in fantasy football, like this guy was a monster on the Raiders. So, and Daniel Jones, if anything, is going to be Saquon and Darren Waller. If the receivers don't work out, it's Darren Waller. He's a safety net. It's just like for any quarterback, that tight end. I mean, Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce. Yes, Travis Kelce is a different tight end. Like he's the best tight end in football. But it's that just get open. Darren Waller he has the talent. He's always had the talent. So it's interesting. But somebody had a question. Walter Strong said, do you believe the Giants defense have the potential to be a top 5 defense?
The potential is there. I don't know that's going to happen this year. Yeah.
That's the key word, the potential. There's so many. I mean, there's a lot of good defenses like the 49ers, the Eagles. I mean, even I got to give it the Cowboys defense.
Got to give the Cowboys.
They got the talent on defense. So the Giants, like you said, the potential, that's the key word, the potential. It says Darren Waller could be Travis Kelce 2.0 if he stays healthy. Like you said, top 5 tight end. I mean, yeah,
Easily. And I think, I've seen it all camp, and if you guys are Giants fans and you follow me when I'm there, and I'm always like Jones to Waller, Jones to Waller, like, are you seeing the pattern here? And then we saw that last night,
yeah,
obviously, with that first series. It was Waller, Paris Campbell, right? And that's tracking, because that's really what we've been seeing in camp so far. So I'm excited for that duo to really get going. I mean, Walt, he just grabs anything and everything. It is
yeah.
crazy.
It is. It's crazy how talented this guy is. Just got to stay healthy. That's the
Yeah,
key. Stays healthy, then that could be Daniel Jones. Like I said, that's the safety net. That's the
it
safety
is.
blanket. So we'll definitely do that. Shout out to my cousin Sheila. Thanks for tuning in. What up, fam? What up?
What's up? Love when
Yes,
Sam
yes.
pops in, right?
Yeah, love it when they pop in. And this, and also this will be the last one. Then we'll go to the dreaded Cowboys. Sorry,
Yeah.
Cowboy fans. I have Hyatt on the list as Rookie of the Year candidates. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's going to need to, assert himself and get acclimated more in this offense, but he is fast. Route
Yeah,
running so far, I know there was, that was coming from his college coach and some of the NFL coach, unnamed sources. I love that shit. It said that he can't run a route, and, that doesn't seem to be a problem. He is really, really fast. I just, let's see. I'm not ready to like throw him in the conversation yet.
yeah,
But I am excited for him. Dude's got a chip on his shoulder. I mean, he is like, I'm proving to these teams that passed on me that I'm going to do something here. And he's so happy to be, in New York. So, great kid. I'm rooting for him. I just like him as a person. It's like some of these players you just like I don't like the Eagles, but I like Jalen Hurts. I think he's a good
yeah.
guy. I like him as a player. So yeah, all eyes on, welcome to the Hyatt. I know he caught a touchdown
Yeah.
last night. So
Yes, welcome to the high. He is fast, like super fast. And
yeah,
that does sometimes translate to the NFL. It's just all about knowledge, that route running, having
right.
good hands, getting separation, all those things. So you could be a track star runner, but
Yep.
that's all you are, and you don't always have to pan out in the NFL
Right.
because there's other fast guys in the league too. So it's like they can
Correct.
keep up with you. But if you can, get open and catch the football as a receiver, I mean, and block and all those things, you can make a career. The height is, yeah. So he's definitely got a chance. So I'm excited for Campbell. He could be a
Yeah.
Swiss Army knife for the Giants. Oh yeah, Giants got a lot of people, like a lot of receivers, and
I
that's
know.
the thing. It's just now just have what's the pecking order, who's going
Right.
to make the team, and all those things. But Paris Campbell he can be one of those guys. And I don't even know if there's a number one. They got a lot of number twos, but Darren Waller could be the number one, the number
Yeah.
one receiver, which it's helped Lamar Jackson to this point, having Mark Andrews as his number one guy. So,
Yeah.
now he's got weapons. So, I mean, that's going to be, yeah, they could be a scary offense too. But, all right, let's head into the how about them Cowboys. I don't even sound right saying it. I don't even sound right even doing it.
You're gonna take a
Just me.
shower after
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Ugh.
So,
No,
but I know Cowboy fans watching and everything too, and they're always around. They're everywhere.
like a
So,
gnat.
but we got to talk about those Cowboys. What's your questions for them? Like, what's your concerns with the Cowboys? Always got talent. We say that all the time, every single year. They always have the talent, but they disappoint every time in the playoffs. So that's always the thing. But what's your question mark? I mean, they're getting a lot of hype heading into this season again. But what's your questions for the Cowboys?
Yeah, well, I think it's exactly that. We do this every single year, like
Mhm.
every year. And by the way, the Cowboys fans, you guys are really not realistic. Okay. Like, I mean, I'll ask, or I'll have them on shows, or I'll do NFC East panels, and somebody will go to the Cowboys rep or the Cowboys fan. And how do you think the season's going to turn out? And it's always like Super Bowl. Like, okay, you haven't gotten there in quite some time. You
Mhm.
can't get through the playoffs. I mean, so to them, they never have a realistic view. It's never like, well, I think maybe 10 wins due to strength of schedule. No, they're all like, we're winning the Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
I guess that's my question is, okay, you have all the talent as you normally do. So what is the issue? Is it Mike McCarthy? Is it Dak? Is Dak the guy? What? Because you get to the playoffs and all of a sudden they can't play football. Like they
Yeah.
forget the craziest shit happens to them. I think Mike McCarthy's calling the plays this
Yes.
season. So, I
Yep.
mean, okay, is that going to make a difference? So I'm just trying to figure out, for me, what is the issue once they get to the postseason? What is it?
Yeah, that's a good question. And like I said, the NR is a huge Cowboys fan. He says,
Yeah.
"How about them Cowboys?" And then he says, "Gilmore and Diggs." We talked about the secondary, the defense. The defense should be lights out if they stay healthy.
Right.
They should be really good, and they actually might carry this team more. And okay, Dak throwing all those interceptions last year, is that an aberration? Is that gonna be the new Dak, or was that just one of those 1 year blips? That because Dak is a good quarterback. Now, I don't think people put him in top fives and all those. No, I never
No.
thought that. Now he is a top 10 quarterback, and that's no slight. People get on me when I say that. It's like I can name 6, 7 quarterbacks better than him. So he's
Yes.
top 10 is still good. It's still really
You
good.
want to
So
name them so we can clip this up and be like,
yeah, right. Let's name them. Like I always, you go to a Cowboys fan, they say, "Well, name who is he better than?" Like I mean, I could go off the top, just Mahomes, Burrow, Josh
Allen,
Allen,
Rogers,
Roger. I'm putting Jalen Hurts up there.
Jalen
Hurts,
Hurts.
Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
There's six right. There's
There's
six right
6.
there. So
Herbert, would you put Herbert above
Justin
him?
Herbert, okay, 7. Okay, Dak falls into the next tier. He's 8, 9,
8,
10.
9
Okay, yeah,
somewhere.
8,
Well,
9.
that's 7 off the top of our head,
There's a 7 without even looking. So, and it's no slight to Dak. Dak is still a good player. It's just that when they put him up, like he had a bad year last year. The interceptions were bad. I don't know if he's that player. He might be somewhere in between where he's not going to throw. I think he threw 14 picks. I think he threw 14 picks last
Yeah, I
year,
think so.
something like that. So yeah. He came off injury and all those things. So but Mike McCarthy calling the plays. I think that's to me going to be the weakness. Him calling the plays. We know that's not his strong suit, and he wants to be a running team.
Yeah.
But you've got receivers. You're going to hold Dak back. Like, what's the offense going to look like? Is it going to be just Tony Pollard? Is it going to be just Pollard? Or you have CeeDee Lamb. You have Brandon Cooks now, who you needed a second receiver. But if you're going to be a running team, you're holding Dak back from, I wonder, to me, going into the season with the Cowboys, okay, say they start 1-3. The 1-2, 1-3, which is a possibility. And you're running the football. You just continue to run the football. Is that going to make Dak and the receivers think, hey, we have this talent. Why can't we open up this offense? I think that's where's their offense identity going to be? I think that's going to be the question mark for them. They're going to be a running team. They're going to be a passing team, or they're going to just be balanced. They should just be balanced. Try to be as balanced as you can.
Yeah, I think they should try to be balanced, but I feel like the Cowboys do this, right? Like, we're going to be a running team. And they run their running back into the freaking ground. And it's like, and then you can't, that's it. You get like a year or so out of them. I just don't think you can put it all on Tony Pollard. I like the guy. I think he's talented and he's great. I just don't think you can put it all on him. So, yeah, I think the big question mark really is Mike McCarthy. And, yeah, I mean, what was last year for Dak? Is that what we get going forward? And what exactly tends to be the issue when you guys get to the playoffs? And for the love of God, I need some of these fans to just relax. The schedule this year is really hard for all of our teams.
Brutal.
So to go on a podcast and you're supposed to be covering the Cowboys and say that your prediction is Super Bowl win. I mean, I can't take it seriously.
Yeah, I don't see it. Like you said, if they say 11 wins, 12 wins, cool. But it was like when I was on your NFC East when you had the panel, and it was early prediction. I think you did it in April, or no, we did after the draft. And the Cowboy fan came on, and we were doing our talking, trash talking, all that. And then at the end, you asked for predictions, a realist prediction. And I just said for us, I said, okay, NFC, try to win NFC East, and get back to the Super Bowl because we was just the last team to get there. So, okay, realistic. And the Cowboy fan was like, Super Bowl. And I'm thinking to myself, that got me going. And I just was like, here we go. Like, just like that, just like you always like the Eli Manning, they'll go in the Hall of Fame. That rattles you. Yeah. And then for me, it's the Cowboys going to Super Bowl. It's like, there's evidence that you guys don't make it that far. You guys get to the playoffs, but then it's like first round, second round, something always dramatic happens. bad clock management or
Yeah.
bad coaching,
Yeah.
interception, something. It's just like I said, they get brain locked or something. It happens. And it's like it's like, come on, let's be realistic. If you just said playoffs, I'm cool with that.
Fine.
I'm good with
Okay.
that. 10, 11 wins, like you said, maybe
Right.
make the playoffs. Right, that's it. So, but there's like you said, this is a big year for Dak. Yep, yeah, I
It
agree.
is.
It is. Issue is Jerry Jones. Needs to cut down on interceptions. Yeah, so the issue is Jerry Jones. McCarthy's in the hot seat. Yeah, he is. He definitely is because now you got with Kellen Moore. Now you want to. You're calling the plays. I think offensive identity. That's the thing. Like Stephen A. Smith, stay off the weed. Yes, an accident waiting
Yes.
to happen. That's the
That's what
Cowboys.
you call them. That clip was like what did so well when you called
Yeah,
them an accident waiting to happen. And then when the panel came on me for Eli Manning, and you just hear Courtney go, "Don't do it.
don't do it. Don't get Nikki
Don't do
started.
it."
Don't do it. No, that's the clip right there. Don't do it. Do not do it. The accident waiting to happen. I agree with Stephen A. Smith. That's what the Cowboys, like I said, super talented team. Like I said, I love their we love their defense.
Yeah.
Defense should be, if they stay healthy, should be a top 5, top
Yes.
7 defense heading into the season. But it's the offense identity. I think that's the question mark for them. So, all right, let's move it to the last team, the Washington Commanders. They're the only team that did not make the playoffs this past season. They're going with a young quarterback, Sam Howell. See how he does. They got Eric Bieniemy. I love when you guys were talking about that on Damien's show about how there's been complaints about his coaching, how he coaches and how he's hard on players. And he said, I'm not changing. I mean,
Yeah.
this man won a couple Super Bowls as offensive coordinator with the Kansas City Chiefs. So he's doing something right and everything too. So, but what's your question marks with the Commanders? Young team, young quarterback, the solid defense, but they got weapons all across the board too on offense, but it's the quarterback position. But what's your take on the Commanders?
Yeah, I mean, outside of a million question marks around Sam Howell, which we all have, for me, every year I think that defense is going to be really, really good. And
Mhm.
because they have a lot of talent, but they just never like take that next step defensively,
Right.
right? And I think at NFC East, it's like just beat each other up, really. It's very AFC Northish a little bit, and usually all the defenses are really good. And I feel like the Commanders, the past few years, they do have a ton of defensive talent, but it's like they just can't seem to get out of their own way.
Yeah.
They make a lot of mistakes. So for me, it's like, can they get out of their own way this season? Can they finally do that? I don't want them to because we we sweep them every year. But as just an objective fan of the game, it's like you see all this talent, but it's just like, come on, they make a lot of stupid mistakes. And yeah, I'm curious to see what Sam Howell's going to look like out there. I really
Yeah,
am.
I am too. I mean, it's interesting because they tried the Carson Wentz. They that didn't work out at all. And now Wentz has no job anywhere. Man, how he has fallen. It's
Oh,
as an Eagle fan, and I was a huge Wentz fan, huge, and I don't know what happened. Just there's a lot of question marks with him. But we know how that story was going to end when he was the Commander starter. He got hurt, and then it's just like they just didn't believe in him. People just don't believe in him, and the leadership has always been questioned, and that's coming from the Eagles back then, and all the Colts, and all this is
yes.
it's always everybody else, not him. It was always blaming everything else, but not him. It's like you got to look at yourself on
Right.
that. But they tried that. Taylor Heineke was a nice story, a good story, but just couldn't hold the number one spot as a starter. Really good backup and for a certain amount of games, but it just wasn't that. So now they go with Sam Howell. They talk about like he's got a strong arm, he's got
Yeah.
command of the offense, and all these things. So we'll see when the real games start what he has. Like I said, got the talent around him. I love Tim McLaurin. I really do. Another guy that just is very slept on, very as a sleeper, and as a receiver. And they got the running game, as you said. Defensively, they just got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
So the question, I think their biggest question is the quarterback position. And now Eric Bieniemy now that he's supposedly getting flack for coaching these guys, as hard nosed and all those
Oh my
things. It's
God. I
like
can't
come
with
on,
it. I can't.
yeah, yeah.
I
It's
just
like come on.
can't.
It's,
David made a good point. He was like, we're nobody. I'm not a pro athlete, but I even had hard dance
yeah,
teachers. My dance teacher was an asshole. Like she was tough. Like you take ballet, like taking class, like in college and in the city, and you're going on auditions and my cheer coach. Like
Mhm.
I had really tough coaches, and I hated it at the time, but it really pushed me to give my best or when I wanted to quit, right? We all hit that moment like where you're just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah,
And it's coaches like that like push you to the next level. And it's not always pleasant and you don't always want to deal with it or hear it, but it does make you better. And I don't know. I just like we said, there's that fine line mentally. You want to make sure your players are okay, your
yeah,
athletes
yeah,
are
yeah.
okay. You can't ignore that. However, you are a professional athlete. And our point last week was that we were just regular people dealing with it.
Yeah,
So,
right.
come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, it's like almost like with parenting, and we sometimes our parents sometimes they were hard on us, and
Yeah.
it's like these like I said, these are professional athletes. Like you said, you want to definitely check the mental of the athletes because with mental health being what it is, it's it's you got to really, like I said, you can't cross that line. But even in some of his former team, from the Chiefs teammates came out and was like, yeah, he might be hard, but it's the best for the team. And it might be the Commanders have bad habits. They might just have their team might just have bad habits, or it might be
Yeah.
a bad culture. Like look where they just come from, like from that with Snyder. It's like you might
Yeah.
have been under that, and now they're just trying to change the culture. He's just trying to change the culture. And it is interesting that he's never got a coaching position either. We know there's a lot of reasons for that
Right.
too, with race and all that. Maybe part of it is because they think he's too hard on players. But I mean, Andy Reid loved the guy, like, and
Yeah.
everything. He loved that he was. I mean, him and Patrick Mahomes, they clashed, but he brought the best out of Patrick Mahomes too. Like Patrick Mahomes said, he loved that offense that he ran, like him and Andy Reid ran. So he's trying to implement that to the Commanders, get them back into winning culture. That's what it's about. And if some players are complaining, or even the coaching staff is complaining about it, it's like, I think Robert Vera, he's on a hot seat. That's why I think
Yeah.
Eric Bieniemy is a potential that if you guys do bad again, if you guys are bad again, like he could lose his job and Bieniemy could be the coach. I mean, that
Yeah.
could happen too.
Yeah. I could see that happening.
Mhm.
I just I get torn with it because it's like, there are coaches out there who do have a really hard style. I mean, look at Bill Belichick. Like
Yeah, right, exactly.
Well,
Like,
I mean, look at his success and his track record. So I
yep.
don't know. I just think maybe, like you said, they probably are coming from a really bad culture, and you
Mhm.
know, when that happens, it's an adjustment for everybody. It takes a while for everybody to adjust because you've been doing these bad habits for such a long time. Anything new, any change coming in is like, nope, I don't want to do that. It's scary. Okay, get it, but do you want to be good? You're usually the laughing stock of this division. So,
Yeah.
at what point do you want to up your game? So,
Yeah, it comes down to, you're right. It comes down to that. It comes down to, do you want to start winning games? You want
right,
to stop being the laughing stock of the NFC East, and you don't want to be in that last place again. Now they're just trying to, like I said, just trying to get a winning culture into it. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I think, yeah, I think we've answered all the questions that we have for each team
yeah,
heading into the NFC East. Looking forward to it. The NFC is so wide open, and just in general, they call it the weakest division, weakest conference. Yeah, because the AFC is so stacked.
right,
But there are good teams in the NFC. The NFC East, they've had so many good teams in last season. So hopefully they can get back into being a winning conference, winning division, moving
yeah.
forward. So, one more question before I let you go. What are you looking forward to for fantasy? Have you joined? Besides, I know we did the Scott Fish Bowl, which took
Oh my
like
god.
3 weeks for the draft on that, and but that was a interesting. That's always interesting to do those 24-hour drafts. But what are you looking forward to this season on in fantasy football?
I'm looking forward to my Darren Waller prediction coming true. So I
Mm,
can say to everybody,
yeah.
I told you so again.
Yep. Got those receipts. You
Yep.
got them. I told you,
You
get
guys
Google.
know I'm petty. If you've podcasted with me or you just know me or you're friends with me, you know I'm petty like that. And I enjoy being like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to telling everybody I was right because it's
Yep.
one of the great pleasures in life to say that you were right about something.
Yep.
But not to make it a complete homer, pick here for fantasy, but really do look out for Paris Campbell. I think he's going to be sneaky good. I think he's going to get a lot of targets. So keep him in the back of your mind. I don't want to give you too much because we have to
Yeah. Got to
draft against
draft.
each
You got to
other.
draft next week.
And so
Yes.
I told Damien, I said, "Oh, you all always want me on right before our draft comes up." So I see what's going on here. But that's Scott Fishbowl. Courtney, I don't know. I just got to tell everybody, thank God for Courtney, DMing me on this. Hey, Nick, you're up. You
Yep.
get this moving and going because I don't know. It's so long.
It's a
And
long draft.
I don't know. I think it was like round 5. I'm like, who am I even picking anymore? I just don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
And when you said like, oh, we're still going, and I thought, oh my God, I thought we were done. I didn't realize there was like 2 more rounds to go. It was it's tough if you don't have an attention span and you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
So you need good friends like Courtney to give you that little nudge. So
Yep. I just say, hey, just make sure that you get 8 hours per pick. I think it's 8 hours, and then it stops at a certain time till to the next day. But I was like, man, this one's longer than the first one I did because I did the first season and it was long. But this one took about 3 weeks. And I was like, we're only on round 18. There's 22 rounds. Like,
I know.
Can we get? I said, let's try to get this done over the weekend. And the weekend passed, and we still had 2 more rounds. It's like, oh my goodness, this is taking forever. But it was fun. Don't forget to make sure you change that lineup up each week too. I know you won't, but just to get that in, I put mine in usually Wednesday night, and then kind of just let it go from there. So, and then it's definitely for charity, which is I met Scott Fish. I met him at the expo. Cool guy, real cool guy, and he was just like, hey, let's take a picture. And Daniel said he'll remind you. He said,
yes, I need reminders. This is why you need good people in your life, everybody. You need those friends that'll just give you the like, hey, don't forget to set your lineup. Because if Courtney was a bad friend, he would just let me like miss my picks, not say, you know what I mean? But we're not like that.
Gotta have an even playing field. I always say just to be that. But I'm looking forward to our podcast, the Real Deal Podcast League.
Oof.
3rd year. I know we was trying to do it like live somewhere, but we had to find a place to. Everybody always, we always got families and things to do and all those. It's hard. It's hard to get people together and travel, and traveling is expensive as it is nowadays, especially if you try to get a flight somewhere. But it's cool, and I know that somebody's doing it live. I don't know who's gonna have it, but I know we're just picking this time. We're just doing our picks on the app, so which is gonna be cool. So I'm looking forward to it. Damien just hit us up and said Tuesday he's gonna do the picks.
All right. Okay.
So we got a couple of days. So I've been doing mock drafts. You know me, I'm heavy in it. Once I'm in it. So it's.
I bet you this is every year I get the 7th pick. So it's just tradition at this point.
You might get number 1 and number 2 this time. I had number 1 2 years ago and then number 2 last year. So I don't know if by luck I might have the last pick. We got just 10 teams this year, not 12, 10. This year, so it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I think it's mostly the same people for the most part.
Yeah,
so.
It is fun. You guys got to go back and watch it because there's a moment where I swipe a player from Courtney, and the look on his face is like, this bitch.
Like again, like really again, always swiping, always. Yeah. But it's fun. We got a lot of great people in there, great minds. Very smart people that just know fantasy football in general. So
it's a tough league. It is a tough league.
It is a tough league. And like I said, I've been number 1 in the regular season, but playoffs is just like I'm like the Cowboys. I get to the playoffs and don't know what I'm doing. So it's like, what am I doing? Like I could set the wrong lineup up, and so it's but it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of tough league, a lot of fun. So Nikki, we've gone for almost a good hour as always. We do this every single time. So I really always appreciate the time. Appreciate you always jumping on the show and everything too. But let everyone know where they can find you, the new show again. Looking forward to it, and where they can follow you.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on all social media platforms at Nikki Nick 9384. Make sure you subscribe to the Fantasy Sports Corporation YouTube channel because that is where you can find the Blonde Blitz. We are premiering Wednesday, August 30th at 8 o'clock. We are super excited, and keep a lookout on those DMs. We're inviting you guys on. We want you to play against us. We want you to have fun with us. So we're going to give you some game picks. We're going to give you some fantasy advice. Deb, she is like amazing with the matchup. She's going to, we're going to dive into some of these big games and talk about the matchups. We're going to give you some best bets, and we're going to be out. So it's going to be a fun hour. And this week I'm going to reveal one of these fun segments that we have going on. It's going to be super interactive. So we are so excited for that. I hope you guys will join and follow us and follow me and follow Deb on all social media platforms. And Courtney, you are the best. And you are like, I have a very short list of Eagles podcasts that I will do. And you are number one. So
I appreciate that. I totally do appreciate that. And we got a comment here. Great show, Walter Strong. Thanks to everyone that tuned in and all the comments and questions. Like I said, it's always interactive, and we love it on YouTube and Facebook, and also you guys, follow at Get the Real Deal with Courtney Harden on all social media platforms and podcast platforms as well. We didn't get into any reality because, like, I'm not, I do watch. Have you been? Let me ask you before I let you go. Have you been watching you watch the challenge with the MTV and the?
No.
Okay.
Is it on after Big Brother?
That one is on. Yeah, that just started.
Okay. I watched a little bit of that one. Yeah.
Yeah, the Challenge USA just came on last week. That's the only one that I actually watch, and they are nuts. Like they're crazy. They competition, and then on top of that, the drama and everything. My wife gets sick of the drama. She's like, I just want to see the competition. I said, but the drama makes the competition.
I love the drama.
Yeah, the drama, like that's what makes it. But this one, they're doing more strategic drama. It's like they're strategizing, and all the MTV alum they're outnumbered this time because you got Survivor, you got Big Brother together, Amazing Race. They're combining against the MTV veterans, and they're like, we don't know what to do. Like, you guys don't have the numbers this time. Yeah, you guys got to strategize better. So that drama, just love it.
So
I love it. It's so good. So, but Nikki, appreciate you. I know you probably be busy this Saturday. I got a cookout to go. I'm about to go to a cookout.
Oh, all right. Have fun.
I'm excited for that. And they're playing softball too, but I don't know if I'm gonna play.
You gotta play.
Yeah, I want some food.
I played pickleball for the very first time.
I know. I saw that. How did that go? How did the pickleball?
Well, apparently my serve is long, deep, and high. So take that and do what you will with that. Right? It is fun. I thought it was going to be stupid, but it actually is very fun. I understand the hype. We just got together for Women in Construction, and we had 2 instructors come, and they taught us, and we played for a good 45 minutes, and it's just fun. It's a fun game, not too much pressure, but we're all competitive. So there was like a little bit of, pressure going on there, but I think I would do it again. It's a good game. So you got to play softball.
Yeah. I mean, I played about 10 years ago. I think I was in a league, and we got to the championship. So it's been a while. Okay. So I'm looking forward to just the cookout and everything. So it should be a lot of fun, but I'm definitely going to be definitely doing that today. But yes, everyone follow Nikki, follow the show, the Blonde Blitz, Nikki and Deb Wickus, following on all except podcast media, social media platforms as well. Thanks again, Nikki. I really appreciate it. And like I said, we'll be chatting. We chat all the time. So
all the time.
We'll be at our fantasy draft on Thursday. So we'll be on the lookout for that. But follow Nikki on, like I said, Giants coverage, the Blonde Blitz, new show. looking forward to that. So thanks again. And till next time, let's do it again. All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye, guys. Bye.
All right. That was a wrap. Thanks to Nikki Gist on the show. Really appreciate her, as always. Good friend of the podcast as well. The Blonde Blitz premieres August 30th. TSS Fantasy. Check it out on YouTube and Roku. So thanks for her jumping on the show. I want to thank everyone that tuned in, YouTube and Facebook. Follow the show again on the BS3network.com, BS3TVlive.com, Roku channel, BS3 TV app as well. So till next week, I will see you guys as always. Really always appreciate the comments, the love. Appreciate you guys voting for the BS3. Before I forget, the BS3 award, BS3 Network Awards airs tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Check it out. I was nominated for 2 awards: the best sports show, and the best sports podcast, and the best podcast. So I appreciate all the voting, and just for being nominated is always, I'm grateful and thankful for that. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate all the comments, the likes, and the votes as well. So and shout out to all the nominees. Shout out to the network in general. Just glad to be a part of the BS3 network. So all right, until next time. Again, thank you everyone that tunes in. Always stay blessed. Peace. Enjoy the weekend, and God bless.